Oh man, here's another one of my stories. God, that's good. Oh, Steve, you are too much. You are good, Steve. Oh, I tell you what, this is too much. Oh, wait a second. Oh my gosh, it's time for another episode of More Than the Score. Wait, don't start. I mean,
where were you?
Oh, I was doing some important research downstairs. Whew, it's a lot of stairs. How many flights is that? Down to the morgue down there.
One.
Oh, that's embarrassing. Okay. Anyways, compose myself here. Welcome to another episode of TH Media. More Than the Score, presented by Dubuque Bank and Trust. I am your host, back and dutiful as always, Steve Ortman. He's Jim Leitner. How's it going, Jim?
Very good. Yourself? I mean, other than the fact that you're winded from one flight of stairs.
I'm hanging in there. I'm not the champion of running stairs, I guess, apparently. But so a lot of running is on tap for Brenden West here, speaking of which, this weekend. He's down in Des Moines covering the Iowa Boys and Girls State Track and Field Meet. Should always be a very eventful and exciting week for us. A lot of very athletes down there. Brendan's down in Des Moines. He has a preview of what's to come this weekend, so let's send it to you, Brendan.
Hey fellas, I am here in Des Moines, Iowa, which means yes, it is state track season once again. We have a number of local teams competing for state medals across all four Iowa classes, girls and boys. Several favorites too. Among them would be the Cascade and the Wahlert girls, and then Dubuque Senior and Western Dubuque boys are also very well represented here. I caught up with one of the favorites, D'Angelo Jackson out of Dubuque Senior. He is the reigning state champion in long jump. He's also looking to do something pretty special down in state. So I got a little bit of an interview clip with him. Why don't you guys take a listen?
I worked a lot to get this far, so I'm not going to quit now. I'm just going to keep pushing.
Yeah. Okay. What does it feel like to have been? Does it give you confidence knowing that you've already done this before, that you've won the state meet, and maybe you can talk about why that is?
Yeah, it gives me a lot of confidence. I'm not nervous.
Mm-hmm.
I just enjoy long jump, and it just comes.
Yeah. It's very personal for you. You know, your goal isn't necessarily to win the meet, but to jump further than anybody else. And you were talking to me about how you feel pretty confident that you can do that. Take me through that. What's feeding that confidence for you?
My consistency and my steps. Yeah. And I feel like I can get 24 this weekend.
Yeah. What would it mean for you for that? I mean, is that?
It'll mean a lot.
Is that an emotional thing for you?
No.
No? No? Just confident, just gonna go out there and be that machine. All right, man. Anything else to add about the state meet in general? You know, the Rams got a lot of representation out there.
We're looking to go down there and do something special. We're looking to run fast, get our personal best.
We're going to have you covered Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for state track. I'm Brenden West here for TH Sports, and yeah, back to you guys.
Thanks, Brendan. That's a great report from him. I don't know if you've ever covered the state track and field meet in Des Moines, but it's one of the most exhausting assignments that we could give a guy. And you know, he's in his first year, so we're gonna make him work a little bit. But the state track meet, it goes from Thursday to Saturday. You're pretty much running from 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning all the way till 8 o'clock at night. There's a ton of great athletes from our coverage area that are going to be down there, so it's going to be we're definitely going to keep him on his toes, and he'll probably sleep real good on Sunday.
Oh, absolutely. Yep, lots of work to be done down there. Our area athletes keep us busy, and shifting gears now, we'll definitely have a wrap-up of the track and field meet next week, but shifting gears now, we move on to the USHL playoffs, Clark Cup final. Dubuque Fighting Saints, they were home last weekend, had the home ice advantage, but boy, Tri-City came through and they took it right away.
Tri-City played a really good road game both times, and they ended up with a 2-0 series lead in the best-of-5 Clark Cup final. The Saints are on the road right now to Tri-City, which is in Kearney, Nebraska, way out in the south-central Nebraska, for Games 3 and hopefully Game 4 on Friday and Saturday of the next two games. But the Fighting Saints have their work cut out for them. After falling behind 2-0 last weekend, they obviously have to win the next 3 to win the Clark Cup.
Yeah, and I mean, you've spoken to the coach, you've spoken to the players. When you're in a 2-0 hole like that and you're heading to the other team's home ice, I mean, what kind of mindset do you have to kind of go in there and be successful?
Well, I think, the Fighting Saints, for one, they didn't play all that bad in the first two games. They noticed a few little things that they can tweak. There are a few little minor adjustments that they can make, but both of those games were real close games going late into the third period. So they feel comfortable with what they have in their back pocket as far as going into games 3 and 4. So if they play their game and play the way they have all season, they definitely have a good shot to extend the series. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did. They've been down, and actually towards the end of the regular season, Cedar Rapids played the Fighting Saints and had a chance to win the Anderson Cup, and that kind of got under the Fighting Saints' skin, and they didn't want to see Cedar Rapids celebrating with the Anderson Cup on their ice, so they went out and they beat them. So I think this is a good motivation for them. They don't want to see the other team celebrating with the cup on Friday or Saturday.
Yep. Well, we'll see. Saints have had their backs against the wall plenty of times, so they have experience. We'll see if they'll be able to bring this series back to Dubuque. We'll have a look at that next week as well. We'll have track and field. Also, we'll have area boys and girls golfers will be qualifying for the state meet at regional meets, so we'll have lots to wrap up next week. And for now, that's going to do it for this week's episode of TH Media More Than the Score, presented by Dubuque Bank and Trust. I am your host, Steve Ortman. He's Jim Leitner. We'll catch you next week.